Brenden, both you and I drive after our spinal cord injuries, and I think that comes as a shock to many people who sustain an injury and to their families. Might be useful if you explain how that works for you.
Hello, my name is Brenden Fitzgerald. I'm the support coordinator for Spinal Injuries Association. This is my colleague Simon.
Thanks, Brenden. Yeah, it's Simon Pinnell. I'm the business and enterprise manager at the Spinal Injuries Association. Brenden, both you and I drive after our spinal cord injuries, and I think that comes as a shock to many people who sustain an injury and to their families. Might be useful if you explain how that works for you.
Yeah, certainly. Spinal cord injuries are different depending on where the injury is. Some people can walk, some people use aids to walk, some people can't walk and use a wheelchair. When it comes to driving, the same applies. Some people are able to drive using the feet, some need adaptations. Because my hands are affected and my legs don't work, I use hand controls in my vehicle. One of the reasons I'm here today is to actually look at the different types. I've just had I had a brilliant set of hand controls fitted by Mobility in Motion. One of the reasons I love them is they're so easy to use. I'm quite a tall lad, so my legs don't get caught under the steering wheel. It means that I can get into the car, I'm totally independent. My wheelchair folds up and goes on the passenger seat. And what it means is that I can drive all over the country on my own without having somebody to help me in and out. I do probably 500, 600 miles a month around the different hospitals. So it's very important to me that I'm able to get independently in and out of the vehicle and do the job that I'm being paid to do. It's also really good because when I do go to the hospitals, some of the people's worry is, well, I'll never be able to drive again. So what I tend to do, I'll say, well, come outside and have a look at my car and how I get in. So I bring them outside the hospital or the nursing home or wherever they are, and I'll demonstrate how I get in and out of my car, folding the chair up, putting it in, then taking the wheels, putting those in, and then I show them how the hand controls work. And I must admit, I find the hand controls easier than when I used to use my feet. Very, very responsive, very quick reactions. It makes driving so much easier, and the main thing, it gives people that independence that we're all looking for, to be able to go back to work, go on holiday, enjoy time with the family, put them in a car of your choice instead of being told what car you're going to drive. Having a hand controls put in a car that you enjoy driving. It makes such a massive difference to me. That independence is so important to me as an individual, for myself, my family and my job, and I'm more than happy to share that with people to show them that there is life after a spinal cord injury.
Absolutely, and it's not just work travel as well. I think holiday travel, for my part, I've been fortunate enough to be able to drive. I drive all over the country. I've got friends in Newcastle. I go on holiday to Devon. I've driven abroad. I've driven to Bruges, to Lille, various parts of the continent as well, quite happily. It's always quite entertaining when you pull up into a disabled parking space and people take one look at you and think, well, why does he need a parking space? And then when you start to get the wheelchair out, people then quickly do realise that's why you're there. But driving is such an integral part of life now for everybody, that being able to continue to do that after your spinal cord injury just makes life feel that little bit more normal.
And it might be steering, it might be hand controls, it might be a top box that the wheelchair goes into. It might just be something where you can put the chair in the back of the car and walk around the side. The main thing is finding one that suits you as an individual. There is help available with funding in certain situations, such as access to work, but it's finding the right tool that does the job for you. And the thing with a spinal cord injury, it can change as you get older. So sometimes your initial adaptations might need changing. It might be a steering knob to help you with the steering. But it's very, very important that you seek the right advice from the right people and get yourself back on the road and start enjoying life again.
SIA was founded in 1974, so this year is our 50th anniversary. It was founded by Baroness Massam, who sustained a spinal cord injury in a riding accident, and together with a group of friends felt that a charity should be in place to support those affected by spinal cord injury. And that's just not the individual themselves, such as Brenden and myself, but also their friends, their families, their colleagues and people like that. And it's grown from a small group of friends meeting around a table to an organisation now with over 80 staff, turning over just over £3 million a year and supporting 2,500 newly spinal cord injured people each year.
That's my role. Firstly about myself, I broke my neck 26 years ago. I was a kickboxing instructor, went out for a run one night, jumped over a 5-foot wall and landed, heard my neck break, watched my legs fall and lay there for about 12 hours. I'm what they call tetraplegic, so my hands are affected as well. I spent a year in Stoke Mandeville Hospital, came out and thought that was it. Luckily I was approached by a couple of charities, one of them being SIA, who started getting me back into normal life, and that was going back to work, learning to drive, sports, getting back into normal reality. My role now is to share my experience with other people who've had a spinal cord injury. So I look after the West Midlands area. There's 10 people like myself all over the country, so we cover all of the UK and Northern Ireland. My role is I get calls and referrals from family, hospitals, nursing homes, individuals themselves, and I go out and talk to people who've had a spinal cord injury and help them with whatever support they need. That could be housing, it could be benefits, it could be finances, it could just be talking to somebody who's had the experience of living with a spinal cord injury and the challenges that bring. I spend lots of time in the hospitals, talking to people on bed rest, talking to people who are ready to go home, finding out what their needs are. The main thing about SIA is we also look after the families as well. So it's not always the person with a spinal cord injury who suffers. The person who's looking after in the background, looking after the children, paying the mortgage, all the rest of it, visiting the hospital is quite a challenge. So my role is to work with those people. I don't do it on my own. We've got a fantastic team, support team, from legal to our nurses to housing associations who work along with us. And we also have an advocacy team, which Simon could probably say a little bit more about.
Yes, my previous role in the organisation was managing our advocacy team, and a big part of that team's work is to ensure that those who we feel should be eligible for continuing healthcare, for example, are able to receive that funding that they need, and we will support them through the whole of that process, from the initial application and assessment to appeals and independent review panel level if necessary. My current role as Business and Enterprise Manager means that I work with businesses and enterprises that we feel may be able to support SIA or provide some partnership, and can provide useful support to our members in providing them with a fulfilled life after their spinal cord injury. If you want to know anything more about that, you can either call us on 01908 604 191 or visit our website at www.spinal.co.uk.